Health environmental concerns draw AZ Attorney General Kris to Benson. Benson. The Office of Attorney General will hold a Benson Townhall to hear citizens' concerns over the impacts of an Aluminum Dynamics Inc. facility upon the health, property, and livelihoods of the people of Benson and the environment, including the federally protected San Pedro National Riparian Area. ADI has received a conditional use permit to construct an aluminum recycling facility on their 200-plus acre property in Benson. The AG claims to have received, quote, many emails, texts, letters, and phone calls from citizens concerned about the impacts of this facility. So Mays wants to hear directly from the citizens of Benson and surrounding communities. The town hall is on Thursday, October 9th, from 5:30 p.m. to 7 p.m. at the Benson School District Maldonado Multipurpose Room, 360 South Patagonia Street. The new slab aluminum recycling plant, being built in a heavy industrial zone along the San Pedro riverbanks, quietly began the process of acquiring the land and applying for permitting last year. Because the zoning for the area is heavy industrial, the proposed plant was allowed by the city, with a zoning variance allowing ADI to build taller than allowed. Months into the project, some residents got wind of the construction and realized this, a major project, with major potential issues arising from the very nature of its existence. Slab recycling is not a 100% emission-free process, and it will most definitely require an industrial amount of water. Concerns over just how toxic those emissions will be, just how much water will be drawn from an already delicate and threatened source, and the plant's wastewater, all became apparent as residents realized the scope of the project. Area residents organized, with perhaps one group leading a steady charge, the No Benson Aluminum Plant Group. A handful of original members launched a Facebook site and began a steady campaign of informing people about ADI. The Facebook group has grown to about 1,500 members, with a deliberate nonpartisan arena for residents to post concerns, the release of information, recent press, and debate. Lots of spirited debate. There is so much information on the page, and so much has transpired since it began, that it may be best to explore it for yourselves. At No Benson Aluminum Plant, some highlights related to the plant's opposition. A petition to oppose the plant was started on LinkedIn, currently at about just over 3,200 signatures. More than 200 signed an in-person petition. The group encouraged and increased attendance at city council and zoning committee meetings, taking advantage of the call to the public segments at every opportunity. They helped flood Arizona Department of Environmental Quality, ADEQ, with comments during public input requests in July. It appeared to force ADEQ to extend the public comment period. Health Over Wealth Benson was incorporated as a nonprofit. Every dollar raised will go directly towards securing legal counsel to protect our town from the devastating risks of heavy industry. We refuse to let outside corporations put profit over people. Health Over Wealth Benson is committed to empowering our community through education and advocacy, raising awareness of the health, land, and water risks posed by heavy industry to protect the well-being and future of Benson's residents, founder Ashlyn Bloom wrote, announcing the organization. In September, Health Over Wealth Benson filed a lawsuit in Cochise County Superior Court against the City of Benson and its Planning and Zoning Commission. They seek to overturn the city's approval of a conditional use permit, CUP, granted to ADI, a subsidiary of Steel Dynamics Inc., for construction of the facility. The Center for Biological Diversity, CBD, and the San Pedro 100 sued Arizona Department of Water Resources, ADWR Director, Tom Bushatska, for failing to review and revoke the designation guaranteeing a 100-year water supply for the 28,000 home villages of Viñedo development in Benson. While not directly related to the ADI project, opposition sees Benson's 100-year water supply could be equally threatened by the plant. The San Pedro 100 is a local advocacy group of basin residents and landowners focused on protecting the San Pedro River and its groundwater. The group's representatives participate in the Bureau of Land Management's collaborative advisory efforts for the San Pedro Riparian National Conservation Area. On paper, it's looking like picture-perfect opposition. But is it working? The ADI project did not get this far without support, albeit seemingly less organized or vocal support. But it's there. There have been a handful of individual supporters that have appeared at public meetings, a few have joined the group's Facebook page, while some have taken to post onto local chit-chat pages. Then there's the city as a group, seem to have posed little objection or related any concerns. The city manager, Greg Volker, has reiterated the city's approval, with the expected reasoning of the ADI being job creator and tax revenue enhancer. ADI has deep pockets. That may be conjecture, but it's a fair assumption based on it being part of a national corporation and the noticeable way they've been lending sponsorship to city events. The Lantern Festival, the Butterfield Rodeo events, and others will likely get a boost from the corporation, trying to endear itself to the community and city officials. Let's not pretend that's not the way it works. Hey, I happen to know a local journal that could use some sponsorship. Ahem. But this is serious business. The building of this plant will have lasting repercussions, and it will change the face of Benson from this point forward. Concerned neighbors are justified in wanting assurances of clean air and water, as may be the effort of the city to embrace ADI, as it is their job to sustain an economically viable township with future growth potential. It's what cities do. The question is, at what price? The topic of the debate has become heated at times online, and some proponents of the plant are intimidated by what they see as aggressive responses from opponents. Bill Glazer, a proponent and active representative of ADI posting on the NBAP page, has accused members of the group of bullying and violating group standards. He said he was less concerned for himself, but for a woman and others being harassed. An initial version of this story reported the woman as a former employee of ADI, and that's incorrect. And it happens, as when a recent post checking to see if tenants in nearby apartments had received notices from ADI went askew. Unfortunately, the thread went off track when unrelated personal history was brought in. That led to attacks on each other, instead of focusing on the real issue. Tenants deserve a say about the plant that will affect their daily lives, wrote Brendan Temeta, an admin for the page. Stephen Edsel accused the group of censoring his post when he attempted to post an image showing a supporting letter from Caleb Malbouf, a resident of near the plant site. I believe this would be a great addition to our community, Malbouf wrote in his letter. Online mayhem ensued, with name-calling and accusations flung in all directions on the posting. Edsel took to another Facebook chat page to respond. Since I was blocked, let's discuss, he wrote. The paper you are looking at is a height variance that was signed a year ago, long before you people started acting like crazy liberals and decided to start attacking anyone who has a different opinion than you. You should all be ashamed and embarrassed by the way you are acting. He has since taken the post down and posted an apology instead. I made a post yesterday morning to defend someone that is like a brother to me. It turned into something that was only causing more anger and resentment, so I have removed it, he wrote. I am fortunate to have been born and raised here. I love our town and everyone in it, and I want our community to remain tight-knit, regardless of political views, opinions, or lifestyles. Social media is a very powerful tool, a tool that can be used for good, but also that can destroy lives. We as a community need to come together, agree to disagree, find a common ground, and work together to build a better Benson and surrounding areas. I know that everyone is going to have a different view on what that should look like, and that's okay. Because it is a small town, and everybody knows everybody, I think the name-dropping has to stop, because we never know who we are hurting. A mother, Arthur, aunt, uncle, cousin, friend, brother, sister, when we start throwing stones at people on social media. Let's do better for each other, Benson area. We are all neighbors. Whether the plant stays or goes, we still will be here. I know both sides have high feelings about this, but I agree with Stephen. Let's agree to disagree and keep the focus on the plant, not on our neighbors, Crystal Anderson wrote. She's been a vocal opponent of the plant. The NBAP page admins make a constant effort to quell any debate that turns toxic, but they can't control what's posted in chit-chat type groups. To be fair, some of these forums can be quite unappetizing at times, with crude comments and flat-out intimidation, and to some, bordering on harassment and bullying. Yet, those experiences vary with the types of moderation the group receives. Moderating is thankless work. Members of No Benson Aluminum Plant have been on the receiving end of a horrendous amount of online personal attacks by pro-plant people on Facebook, said Misty Bloom, a founding member and moderator for the NBAP group. So many lies have been said about us, it's surprising to see and read. It's unfortunate. ADI employee Bill Glazer, in my opinion, has been wildly unprofessional in his representation of aluminum dynamics by doxing certain members of our group, doxing a member's business, and generalized information about my residents. Our Facebook group, NBAP, is very peaceful compared to other groups on the platform, and we quickly respond to any inappropriate content posted. Our group is mostly comprised of informative posts about the plant. We try to remain professional and keep everything above the board on our end, but as an admin, you can only control what's going on in your own group. I'm very proud of our Facebook page, which now hosts over 1,500 people. The AG's visit to Benson will provide residents with an opportunity to voice their concerns. What? Benson Townhall. When? October 9th from 5:30 p.m. to 7 p.m. Where? 360S Patagonia Street, the Maldonado Multipurpose Room. What to know? Space is limited. There is a registration form, however. It does not guarantee entry or chance to speak. This report was written by Hector Acuna for Cochise County Voice, October 2nd, 2025.